Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him. And the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and arrayed him in a purple garment. And they came unto him and said, Hail, King of the Jews, as they struck him with their hands. And Pilate went out again, and saith unto him, Behold, I bring him out to you, that ye may know that I find no crime in him. Jesus therefore came out, wearing the crown of thorns, and the purple garments, and Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man. When therefore the chief priests and the officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, Take him yourself and crucify him, for I find no crime in him. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by that law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. When Pilate therefore heard this saying, he was the more afraid, and he entered into the Patron again, and saith unto Jesus, Whence art thou? But Jesus gave him no answer. Pilate therefore said unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have the power to release thee, and have the power to crucify thee? Jesus answered him, Thou wouldest have no power against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee has greater sin. Upon this Pilate sought to release him, but the Jews cried out, saying, If thou release this man, then thou art not Caesar's friend, and every one maketh him a king speaketh against Caesar. When Pilate therefore heard these words, he brought Jesus out, and sat down on the judgment seat, in a place called Pavement, but in Hebrew, Gabbatha. Now it was the preparation of the Passover. It was about the 6th hour, and he says unto the Jews, Behold you king. They therefore cried out, Away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, We have no king but Caesar. Then therefore he delivered him unto them to be crucified. They took Jesus therefore and went out, bearing the cross for himself, unto the place they called Place of Skull, which is called in Hebrew Gotha, where they crucified him, and with him two others, and the other side one, and Jesus in the midst. And Pilate wrote a title also and put it on the cross. And there it was written, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title therefore read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city, and was written in Hebrew and in Latin and in Greek. The chief priests of the Jews therefore said to Pilate, Write not, the King of Jews, but that he said, I am the King of Jews. Pilate answered, What have I written? I have written. The soldiers therefore, when they crucified Jesus, took his garment and made 4 parts to every soldier, a part and also the coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. They said therefore one to another, Let us not rend it, but cast lots for it. Who shall it be? The scriptures might be fulfilled, which saith, They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. These things therefore the soldiers did. But they were standing by the cross of Jesus, his mother and his mother's sister, Mary the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then saith he to the disciples, Behold thy mother. And from that hour the disciples took her unto his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things are now finished, that the scripture might be accomplished, saith, I thirst. There was set there a vessel full of vinegar. So they put a sponge of vinegar upon Hypos, and brought it to his mouth. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished, and he bowed his head and gave up the spirit. The Jews therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain on the cross upon the Sabbath, for the day of the Sabbath was a high day, asked of Pilate that their legs might be broken and they might be taken away. The soldiers therefore came and brake the legs of the first and of the other that was crucified with him. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs. Howbeit one soldier with a spear pierced his side, and straightway came out blood and water. And he that has seen hath borne witness, and his witness is true. He knoweth that he saith true, that ye also may believe. For these things came to pass, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. A bone of him shall not be broken. And again another scripture saith, They shall look on him whom they pierced. And after these things Joseph and Arimathea began a disciple of Jesus, but secretly for fear of the Jews, asked of Pilate that they might take away the body of Jesus, and Pilate and give him leave. They came therefore and took away his body, and there came also Nicodemus, he who at first came to him by night, bringing a mixture of myrrh, about 100 pounds. So they took the body of Jesus and bound it in linen cloths with the spices, as the customs of the Jews is to bury. Now in place where he was crucified there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, wherein was never man yet laid. There then, because of the Jews, preparation for the tomb was nigh at hand, they laid Jesus. This was John chapter 19.